some what do you call that? Motivational bullshit that we do. The self-improvement stuff.
Self-improvement. We got some self-improvement for
Self-improvement
y'all.
stuff for y'all.
Motivational bullshit. You guys hear what we have?
All right, guys. So, all right, Eddie.
Negative Nancy over here.
Pick. What do you want to start with? What do you want to start with?
We got
No sound? Hey, do we have sound?
It should be coming up here in a second.
Okay. Do we have sound? Do we need to do the intro again?
No, we do not. We didn't do
We're
the
all
intro.
good, man.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of shit coming for you.
All right, give
That's
us.
all it is.
Well, then I'm gonna repeat this again. Vitality, guys, flood this in the chat. Vitality, you get your credit. I got some news for you later. Anyway, Eddie, we do have some presidential candidates. United Airlines.
You asked me the question and then went right over, huh? You asked me, what do you want to start with today?
I didn't hear you. Bro.
I didn't get to the answer.
Well, no, I'm giving you the topics, bro, to pick from, bro. We got presidential candidates. Then we have United Airlines and diversity inclusion hires. Then we have cars. Then we have watches. Then we have self-improvement. What you want?
Give me watches.
Watches. All right, Miggy, pull up some watches. Pull up some watches. I'm going to start you off, guys, with some watches. I did pick some articles. There's nothing really crazy interesting in watches this past couple of days. So I think one of the articles was with blank pain, how you cannot service that watch. You pick that one. It's all good. Just any of those, yeah. So you can't service that watch.
I think we looked at all this already.
So these are all new Grand Seiko announcements that Grand Seiko came out with.
Yeah, we looked at this already.
We did?
Yes.
Oh.
Did we?
Yeah, that's an old one from last week.
All right. Well, maybe I
did
didn't
you post anything about watches?
No.
Yeah, bro, you fucking blue balled me.
Really? Well, Blake, I was telling you about blank span watches.
Well, yeah, I mean, we figured that out during the weekend. I was looking at the swatches, the swatch collaboration that Blanc Pond did, and yeah, I figured out that they're not serviceable. So the movement inside is if anything ever goes bad, that watch no longer will tell time, and you can't get it fixed because the case is sealed. Apparently, which means I guess you can't take it apart without breaking it. Probably. I don't know. I think that may be one of the reasons that the watch isn't going for much above retail. So the watch came out about $400, and it's only about $450. You can get any of the colors around $450 or $460. You got to get off camera to take the hoodie off.
He's good.
I don't want to knock the microphone over.
Oh my god.
Yeah, take this fucking jacket off. It's hot.
Yeah. So that kind of made me not want to get one. I was looking at it as an actual solid choice for maybe my next watch, and especially once I saw that they were only like $450, not really much more than their retail price, and it's got Swiss automatic hand wind movement, but after hearing you can't service it, like what if something goes bad in the first month? You're screwed.
Warranty?
Pretty much
it. No warranty at all.
Well, you would have to buy one second hand, so I don't know if you'd get warranty on it because you're not getting it through like an authorized dealer. Or Swatch themselves.
I'm sure if you register, because it comes with all the paperwork and stuff like that. If they don't register it, and if they're for resale,
it all depends. Because like for example, when they bought like any of our watches, will usually like they register the warranty
and stuff on it. Yeah,
they register the warranty already in the system when they buy the watch. And so I don't know if you'll be able to do that, like if you bought it off StockX or something like that.
So here's the thing with Rolex. So if you buy the Rolex and you resell it right away, because people have to go in and put that warranty under their name, the dealer, the Rolex, will see that and they'll let your authorized dealer know, hey, like this person that you sold the watch to, this coveted Rolex for, they turned around and resold it. So your authorized dealer will most likely not call you again. They're not supposed to call you. The Rolex doesn't specifically tell them don't call him, but then they kind of like let them understand don't call him. But in the case of a Blanc Pan watch, that one specifically, I don't think they're gonna bother too much. You know what I mean?
All depends because you would have to. You're gonna have to have it registered, and if you can't get it registered,
then simple as that. Yeah. But you're not gonna touch it anyway. It's probably gonna be in a case anyway for you because you can service it anyway. So it doesn't really matter whether you touch it or not touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so go to another article. Miggy, you pick one. See what you got.
Consumer Report says not to buy these popular cars.
All right, guys. So if you're in the market for a new car, here we go. There's a whole thing that came out, what not to buy. It doesn't tell you what to buy, but definitely tells you what not to buy, right? So Chevrolet Trax. These are one of the newer Chevy cars that they came out with. It's kind of like it's like a hatchback crossover, smaller.
I don't like the plastic wheel
Everything?
wells. Yeah, I mean not just like around the wheels, the
Mhm.
wheel wells on the fenders. You know, like that plastic fender. I don't like it. Like having that in the quarter panel. Like they did that to the new WRX. I hate that shit.
I'm not a big fan of just SUVs in general.
Well, I don't
This
think
one
this is
doesn't
an
look bad.
SUV. I
It's
think
like a
this is
crossover.
crossover, like a smashed down crossover.
Yeah, but it still looks like an SUV. It's still got that bulky look to it. I don't know. I don't.
It's like my
that.
mom's Lexus, like a crossover basically. So
Yeah.
nothing too big. You know what I like about crossovers is the way they drive. It's big on the inside to where you kind of almost feel like you're sitting in an SUV. You don't feel like you're sitting in a sedan.
Yeah.
You almost feel like you're sitting in an SUV, but it drives like a small car in the sense where it's small enough to where it maneuver like a small car almost. You can park it anywhere. That's what I like about
So
like my
go
mom's
down,
Lexus and stuff.
third. Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. Go down third row. It says, still there are plenty of downsides. Still there are plenty of downsides, including uneven power delivery and a cheap interior that causes the tracks to come up short. I can't see that far. Affirming Consumer Reports recommendation. Anyway, so this is from Consumer Report, guys. I don't know if you believe it or not, but this is the Consumer Report.
Corolla hatchback.
Corolla hatchback. I can see it. I can see it because it's small. It's really, really small. Like, I think this is perfect for like an European city with smaller roads and things like that. But I think in the United States, I think it's a little too tiny. And it's probably outdated because Toyota doesn't like to upgrade any of their shit. You know, they're always lagging behind.
Works.
Yeah, they're always lagging.
So
and the reason they're lagging is because
is the this is what they're saying you should buy. Because remember, I said that it's gonna give us the cars you shouldn't, and then the alternative.
Yeah, so this one says buy. You should.
I would
You see, because I read the thing on the bottom. It said, considering how small the Trax is and the fact that it's front-wheel drive only, odds are you'll get everything you're looking for from the Toyota Corolla hatchback. It's a much better vehicle overall, and should get better gas mileage as well.
I agree with all of that they said, but still, it's too small for me. You know, this is perfect for like somebody that's going to college. Maybe
What do you mean
like
it's
a
too
first car.
small
I think
for
it's
you?
too small. How many heifers are you carrying in the back?
And you got a coupe, bro. It's already small. I mean, you have your area that's, I guess, decent to sit in, but you can move the seat back in the Corolla, bro.
I don't know, man. It's for a 4-door car. I think it's too small. It was a 2-door car. I say okay, but 4-door car.
It's a little hatchback, bro. Like the
Anyway,
Subi.
there's still market for
you
it.
don't like you. If you're getting a 4-door sedan, you're getting a big, spacious 4-door
Yeah.
sedan. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like the GR.
Like, have you seen the new Honda Accords? Them motherfuckers are boats, bro. Like, they're
No,
big.
I've never actually. I don't think I've ever
They're
got
big.
a Honda Accord before. Well, alternative. You got the Nissan Kicks.
So they're saying,
Yeah.
but if you really want a subcompact crossover and can make yourself go with the...
Corolla hatchback, and then another alternative to the Trax is the Nissan Kicks.
Okay, all right, switch through.
That shit. Let me show them real quick. That's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking ugly.
Volkswagen.
Avoid. Yeah,
Avoid
it's a
Volkswagen
Volkswagen.
Jetta.
Avoid it.
We've already talked about that enough on this part about how much you should avoid Volkswagen.
Yeah, and what is it gonna do? Civic? No, Mazda 3. Okay, I see
We're
it.
gonna do the Mazda.
I see them going with the Mazda 3, and then alternative is Hyundai Elantra. Okay,
Is that an electric one? No, it's a hybrid.
it's a hybrid. Okay,
So this is pretty cool in the sense where it tells you a car that's bad, what you should buy instead of it, and then even if you don't like that one, another alternative.
yeah.
I wonder if they have some type of deal.
I'm just surprised it's a
For the
Hyundai in there because people be talking shit about
Nah,
because
because-
of the Hyundai, the name.
Yes,
but
because
Hyundai
of the
keeps
name,
putting
but-
out the numbers,
But
man.
you know, another thing is too. It's just like the classic, high schooler car or whatever. Like the first
Yeah,
buy that they know is gonna be reliable, doesn't cost a lot.
So if I were to compare watches to cars, you shouldn't be doing that because it's a sacrilege to do that. If I were to compare watches to cars, I would call Hyundai the Seiko of cars.
No,
Yes.
no.
What would be the Seiko
What
of cars?
the fuck is wrong with you, Jay?
Seiko of cars. Hyundai is the
Toyota.
Seiko of cars. Huh?
Toyota.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What's Toyota then?
Toyota is...
Seiko, bro.
No,
Come on.
no.
I've seen
Toyota is not
millions of
Seiko.
these. I've seen millions of these comparisons on Instagram. I've seen millions of them, and all of them say Seiko is Toyota, and I agree.
Nope. I say no. The reason I say Seiko is not the Toyota because, number one, what would you buy in a sub 500 area that is an automatic watch, that is good quality, Do you have anything in there?
Seiko, Hamilton.
Hamilton? No, below 500.
Yeah, you can get the
Fine, below 300. Seiko.
Seiko.
They're
Orient.
the cheapest. They're the Seiko Orient. Orient is owned by Seiko.
Okay.
So Seiko
Yeah, but we
Orient.
can't go by what's owned by what because there's all these watch companies own each other.
Seiko is the cheapest automatic watch, right? Toyota is definitely not the cheapest car producer. They are
aren't one of the
reliable, but they're
cheapest.
not
Yes,
the
they
cheapest
are.
one. Toyota is not.
Yeah, they're one of the
Honda
cheapest.
is cheaper than Toyota. Chevy is cheaper than
Seiko, bro.
Toyota.
Seiko's Toyota.
No, it's not, bro.
Yes.
No, it's not. Seiko would be Hyundai. Hyundai is the cheapest one. It's very reliable. Bunch of people hate on it, just like they hate on Seiko because Seiko almost destroyed the watch industry with their quartz movement. Just like they're saying Hyundai destroyed the, Hyundai make shitty cars because they did it back in the day. I don't agree with it.
No, we just hate on it because it's a Hyundai.
That's what I'm saying. Bunch of people hate on Seiko because it's a Seiko. This is why Seiko isn't a Hyundai. See, sorry. Avoid.
And the Corolla is probably cheaper than the Elantra.
No.
Let's
way.
see.
Corolla is more expensive than Elantra. No way Corolla is
I
cheaper.
think it just depends on the configuration. that
If you
go
take
for
most basic or the most top of the line, Corolla is still going to be more expensive.
there. Than the Elantra.
Yep.
Huh,
Corolla is more expensive than Civic.
All right. Well, it says here to avoid the
Mercedes-
Mercedes-Benz CLA.
Yeah, I agree with
They're the
that.
same price.
There's
22 grand starting off base.
No way.
No, so he says Google's bullshit.
Way.
All right, guys. All right.
No way. Go continue.
They're both $22,000.
So why avoid the Mercedes-Benz CLA?
Because it's a Mercedes.
Just because the maintenance costs
For the
are
first year-
expensive?
Yeah.
And you lose a lot of value.
For the first 4 years, like if you leasing it, go ahead with Mercedes. Everything in warranty, you're fine. After 4 years, just junk it. Take it back and get it.
Yeah,
new.
like look at it this way. You have a car that's worth like 100-something thousand when it comes out, and then like within a few years it's worth like 60, and then after that it's worth 40, and then 30. Like it just goes down so fucking fast.
Interesting. So it's almost like diamonds.
Well, diamonds is a different story. Yeah.
I mean, they don't go that. They don't. The depreciation isn't that fast because diamonds is like the moment you walk out of the store, that's it. You lost all your money.
So instead, you buy an Audi A3.
No,
I don't
because
agree
that's a
with this shit.
Volkswagen Passat.
Yeah, I don't agree with this shit. They just said don't buy the fucking Jetta, but then they're saying buy an A3.
Yeah,
Make no damn
it
sense.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, I guess they're in that category of cars, which means like that small luxury cars. Then yeah, that's probably the only thing you have. Fucking
But I would
left.
rather buy the CLA than this Audi A3.
Yeah, because I would probably buy the CLA or even a BMW. I would.
That's
put-
solid. There you go.
Yeah, I would put-
That's better than both.
Yeah, I would put this before the.
Yeah, those
the other one.
Integras look fucking fire as well. By
I
the
saw
way.
one on the road. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, but I understand why they're doing that because people don't consider Integra on the same level as Audi and Mercedes.
Yeah,
I
but
get it.
Acura's pretty nice, man. On the inside, it's pretty.
It
nice.
is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't get looked at like a Mercedes,
Yeah.
of course.
Mercedes being
C-Class,
C-Class,
yeah.
avoid, yeah.
It's just in general. Avoid Mercedes, huh?
Yeah, it's just a
yeah,
basic
unless you got the
Mercedes.
money for it, right?
Buy
Buy-
BMW. No, bro.
Well, I will say this: BMW does have this that Mercedes doesn't. Value. They will hold their value.
No,
And
they won't. It's
Yes,
the same
BMW.
garbage.
BMW
They're
holds
the
their value
same
a
shit.
lot better than Mercedes does.
To me, they're the same bullshit.
Well, when it comes to value on the market, they do hold
Cadillac
better.
CT5. How the fuck do you go from BMW 3s to CT5? CT5 can go up to $150,000. How the fuck?
Yeah,
do
but
they...
that's if you get like the top notch one. I'm sure like base model, they're around the same price.
But I don't understand how the fuck are they comparing. Well, I guess because you can get the C all the way to AMG 6065, but
Exactly.
I don't
You
know.
can get a C250 or you can get a C63, right?
Yeah, I guess
That's
that was
That's
it.
it.
That was it, boys and girls. So there you go. That's your car picks. Top 10 most common mistakes retirees make on their taxes. Figure tax season is upon us, and these are some of the top mistakes that people make. So this is part of our finance and self-improvement bullshit. Which
It's not
is
bullshit,
It's
Jay.
not
Come
bullshit.
on.
It's not bullshit. I'm just saying that just to be.
Not a lot of people think about retirement.
Yeah.
Though. So in retirement, your income may be coming from retirement accounts and/or Social Security, which have different rules of taxation than traditional income from employment. To help retirees avoid tax trouble, Go Banking Rates spoke with John Gassman, an accountant and certified financial planner with G&G Planning Concepts Incorporation, and Josh Zimmelman, an accountant and managing director of Westwood Tax and Consulting. They explain the most common mistakes. Disorganization. A big mistake that many taxpayers make, not just retirees, is being unorganized and or irresponsible about your tax return, Zimmelman said. If your financial paperwork is a mess, then your financial situation might also be. Careless error or oversight on your return can cost you. Forgetting to file your return on time can also result in late penalties and interest fees. What do you guys think about that? I myself don't really keep track. I don't really have to. At this particular moment in time, I don't have to track my taxes. It's just W-2. That's it.
At this point, yes. But I think what this is talking about, because in retirement you can have multiple different accounts, trying to understand each account and just kind of keeping track of where the money's coming from. Because you can have a regular IRA, you can have a Roth IRA, you can have a 401k, you can have a Roth 401k, you can just have a basic brokerage account that's coming, or even a savings account, or even a CD account, or an insurance account, right? That the money coming out of. So basically what it's saying is like understanding where your accounts are, what your finances are, and where is all that money coming from, right? I think that's what they're talking about. But because the W-2 is very easy because your employer hands it to you. Exactly. So they do a little calculation and hand it to you. When you retire, you don't have that. Like you kind of have to create your own W-2, right?
Yep.
However, if you use some sort of an application that makes your things easy for you, they'll ask you all the questions you need to get it all together. You'll end up paying for it, but definitely professional accountant is much better in my opinion, unless you really know what you're doing. So
another common mistake, not understanding retirement account taxations. It's easy for retirees to forget that different retirement accounts are taxed differently. Zillman said, for example, withdrawing funds from a traditional IRA has a different tax impact than withdrawing the same amount from a Roth IRA, he said. Making the wrong choices could result in higher capital gains taxes, higher Social Security taxes, and more.
So the difference between those two accounts, IRA is what's called pre-tax accounts. Roth IRAs are post-tax accounts, right? So the amount of money that you put in an IRA goes pre-tax, which means you don't pay tax, and it goes in there. So whatever it accumulates pre-tax. So and a Roth IRA is the money you already paid taxes on this money, and then you're putting it into the IRA, right? So it accumulates differently. So they're going to tax it differently. But then this one, the RMDs, this is pretty big, right? Once you hit 72 years old, you have to take out what's called an RMD. These are required minimum distributions, right? If you do not take RMDs at 72, government will penalize you for not taking this money out, right?
So it's free money for you?
It's not free money. So your account, so let's say in your accounts, you've accumulated $2 million, right? You hit 72, you have to start withdrawing this money from your retirement accounts, specifically retirement accounts, at RMDs, which is the required minimum distributions. Now, you can take more, but you cannot take less. Does that make sense? So let's say you don't need the money, you still need to take that money out. Because the reason they're doing this is so you pay taxes. And a lot of times this money will be parked in like a IRA or 401k. They never really pay taxes for. And then as this account gets passed down over to children, it gets passed down at what's called stepped up basis. So children don't even pay taxes on. So government says, okay, well, we want you to pay taxes on it, yeah. So because we want you to pay taxes, we need you to start taking this money out as a required minimum distribution from all of your retirement accounts because you're 72, right? Now, if you have 10 or 30 accounts, all you have to do is pull the minimum from one of the accounts, and that's good enough for everything because it's called a required minimum distribution. Only one, not per account, but per person. Make sense?
Gotcha. So you only have to do the withdrawal once.
But that's every month or every quarter. Like
okay.
You got to do these minimum distribution. Like you have to do them, right? A lot of times what people do, if I have a lot of money, they'll take that and they shove it in a brokerage account. They take that, shove it in a brokerage account slowly, right? But cool. That's basically there.
Confusion around itemizing deductions. The IRS allows taxpayers to take two kinds of deductions on their taxes: a standard deduction, which is a set amount, or an itemized deduction, which allows you to write off specific expenses. Gassman explained, failing to grasp the distinction between these deductions is common for retirees. Some retirees are unaware that they can choose between a standard deduction and itemizing deductions. He said they should opt for the variation that provides the greatest benefit.
So this is what they're talking about, standardized deduction. So if you're a head of household, you get what's called $18,000 of a standard deductions, right? Which means they'll take whatever amount of money you made by the end of the day, at the end of the year, and they'll minus $18,000 automatically. You can take that standard deduction, or you can say, you know what? thank you very much for the standing deduction. I'm going to do my own deduction, which means I'm going to itemize everything. Majority of the cases across the board, even if you're a business owner, $18,000 is going to be it, right? Like you're just not going to have enough deductions to take it out. Unless you're a business owner where it brings in, let's say close to 100,000, 200,000, you have amortized deductions such as if you own a car that's over 6,000 pounds, you can amortize deduct those things and things like that. Like, or let's say you have a building, you can amortize that. So these deductions could work, but $18,000 is a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of money. If you ever sat there and try to itemize these, 18,000 is a lot of money. I highly doubt you get even close to that 18,000.
You gotta spend. No, I'm thinking like how much you would have to spend a month on your bit. Like how much more? How much like is the minimum you have to spend?
So minimum every month you would have to spend
Like-
it would be 18,000, right? If you're a head of household, you would need to hit that 18,000.
A month? I thought you meant
No, 18,000 divided by 12.
Right. That's
Right?
exactly what I was
Your
doing.
expenses have to be close to what? $1,200.
I think it's a little more.
$1,200.
It's like almost
a little bit more,
$1,300.
$1,300, $1,400. So your expenses have to be $1,400.
That can be deducted.
That would be equal to standardized deduction. So your expenses in reality have to be more than $1,400.
Yeah.
So
for it to
even
make
if your
sense.
expenses are at $2,000, by the end of the year you only have $24,000 of deduction. So the difference between a standardized deduction and the deduction that you're gonna do is gonna be $6,000. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're making $24,000 of expenses, you better be making at least $24,000. You know what I mean? Because you need some money for yourself. Like
Yeah.
you can't just expense everything out. A lot of people don't understand. Yes, a lot of times you expense a bunch of shit out, but you got to expense it correctly. Like, it's very, you got to be it's very tricky. You can't use your own personal with the business. You can't commingle these because IRS can come
Right,
after that.
right.
So they're intricate, nuanced details. That's why, as a business owner, if you're a small business owner, a simple TurboTax will do. I'm not gonna lie about this. Simple TurboTax will do. But if you're a big business owner, let's say you're doing close to 6 figures, let's say between 60 to 100,000, definitely find an accountant. If you're doing 100,000, definitely find a fucking accountant. Like, don't even mess around.
Right.
Another mistake is not taking medical deductions. Retirees also may misunderstand the rules for deducting medical-related expenses, including what qualifies and what doesn't.
So anything that's over the counter that you buy, like such as fucking aspirin and things like that, these are all considered medical deductions, right? Because they're over the counter, but you buy an aspirin, fucking airborne and all that shit. That's all considered. Or you go into your doctor and then you pay something out of pocket. Let's say the HSA, right? Or you don't have an HSA, you pay a copay. That's medical deduction, right? So all of those things need to be taken out, right? Again, with all of that said and done, you kind of have to see whether it's worth for you putting all that shit together or your 18,000 is what it's at.
Incorrect stocks sold calculations. So just
Yeah,
messing up on calculations with that.
Yeah, so this is how it works. If you're selling some sort of a shares at the end of the year, the shares that you sold come in, right? You have what's called a first in, first out, or first in, last out, right? Which means whatever, because as you buy shares throughout the years, whatever comes in first, this could be at a lower price than the last one. So you have to decide, and you can only flip it once in your lifetime, whether you're going to do first in, first out, or first in, last out. Which means if you do first in, last out, then you're going to sell the ones that are more expensive. So the cost basis, so let's say the last ones you bought at 100, but you sell them at 120, right? The last ones are 100, 120, so there's only $20 difference. You're going to be paying taxes on $20 versus you selling the ones in the beginning that you bought at $20 and you selling them at 120, now you have to pay taxes on $100. Make sense?
Not too much, no. I ain't gonna lie.
Sort of.
Okay. So with the calculations with stocks come in first in, whatever shares first came in, and they're first out. Which means if I bought shares in, let's say, I don't know, in year 2000, I'm going to sell those first this year.
Got you. Okay.
But if it was first in, last out, which means if I bought shares in year 2000, I'm going to start selling everything before year 2000, and these are going to be the last ones out.
I get you now.
So the closer you are to the date of your sale, the less in taxes you pay. And this also has to do with how long have you held those shares. If you held them less than a year, it's what's called you're going to pay it capital gains. I mean, not capital gains, but it your own tax bracket. So if your tax bracket is 30%, whatever gains are, you're gonna pay 30%.
Right.
But if you kept it for more than a year, you're paying what's called capital gains, and that depends how much money you're making, and the most you'll ever pay is 20%. Make sense? It's either 15 or 20%. There's no in between.
So it does make sense to keep the stocks for longer periods of time.
If you do not need to sell the stocks and you do not need money, it makes sense, and you pass it down to your children in what's called stepped up basis. Even though you bought the shares at $20, but because you pass and you're passing this to your kids, they'll get those stocks at that current price, which means they don't have to pay taxes for any of this shit. They just transfer that over.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not reporting tax-free income. If something is tax-free, such
Holy
as
shit, this is a whole guideline.
income, you might think you don't need to report it. However, Gassman said that's not exactly true. Well, tax-exempt interest itself is not taxable. It can impact the taxation of Social Security benefits, he said. The interest serves as an additional factor in determining the taxable portion of Social Security benefits. Let's move on.
I agree.
Groundbreaking study.
There's a lot
reveals
there.
It's a lot, and it's not a
fingerprints-
very
Sexy.
sexy subject. You know what I mean? It's something that you need, but it's not. This is the reason why we don't teach this in classes, because kids fucking fall asleep.
Well, kids fall asleep to anything, bro.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I was thinking earlier, dude, I put in so much time and just becoming so good at video games, but I sometimes just can't put myself to doing things that I just should be doing that I know will be doing better for me.
I mean, no one likes cough syrup, right? That's the bottom
It
line.
sucks. I just wish that there was more fun ways
There
to
aren't.
learn.
You can't fucking make tax code fun. You ever see? You ever? There's no way you can make tax code fun. If you could make tax code fun, bro, we would open a university and like just crank out CPAs. If we could make it fun, we'd be billionaires by now. By the end of the day, we would be billionaires, bro. If we could make tax code fun, but it's just
That's hilarious.
Doesn't work.
All right, so apparently our fingerprints aren't as unique as we thought. One of the marvelous things about human is the
Yeah, it's
uniqueness
just
of
splitting.
each of our bodies. Although over 100 billion humans have lived on this blue marble of ours, no two fingerprint scientists believe have ever been identical. The pattern of lines and whorls on each human fingerprint is believed to be unduplicated on any other finger. Even the individual fingers of a single human were thought to be significantly distinct from one another. But according to a new study, the ridges on each of our fingertips might not be quite as different as we thought. Using a neural network, a team of researchers led by engineering senior Gabe Guo of Columbia University had identified different fingerprints belonging to the same person, or intra-person prints, with a success rate of up to 77% for a single pair of prints. We suggest that intra-person fingerprint similarities are of interest not only because they challenge long-held beliefs, but also because this similarity could help improve the ability to find leads for investigations when the fingerprints obtained from crime scenes are from different fingerprints than the fingerprints already on file. Go and his colleagues write in their paper. We hope this additional information could help prioritize leads when many possibilities exist, help exonerate innocent suspects, or even help create leads for cold cases.
That's pretty cool. So your fingerprint isn't as unique as you thought, huh?
No, I guess not.
it's another reason to tell you you're not special.
Huh?
Another reason to tell you you're not special.
Oh, another reason to tell you not special. So I started the stuff yesterday, guys. You know, that was brutal having to wake up at 4 a.m.
Oh, yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it sucked.
Hey, it sucked.
Yeah, it sucked.
That same day after when you got out, it was a different type of exhausting, right? Your body's just not used to it.
Not really. It felt.
It's not even just your body.
Are you waking up tomorrow early or no?
No. Thursday I gotta be up early. Tomorrow I gotta be up at like probably, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh, so Thursday. Oh, okay, so shit. So you're gonna have podcast after podcast. You were like nighty night.
I don't know, because like I don't know, my body's fucking weird, man. I can sleep 2 hours and then like say I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. I can go to sleep at 1, wake up at 3, and then go to sleep at 3 a.m. again. I don't know, like I just get like this weird thing. I get in bed and I'm like,
What are you
I
taking
don't
a fucking power nap over at nighttime?
No,
what
no,
are you doing here?
and it's if I want to. And if I
Both
want
like
to,
me
I
again.
could-
I was just
I
trying to
could-
look at it like,
No, if I wanted to, I'd go to sleep at 11, 12, right? Like on Monday, right? I could have gone to sleep early, but I stayed up probably till about 1 a.m. Yesterday. It was not a big deal. Like it was tiring, but it was this weird feeling of almost like it felt like, you know, when you get up early at the ass crack of dawn to take a flight for vacation. That's what it felt like. Not because, you know, I'm going to work or whatever, so it doesn't feel like that. But that's kind of what my body recognized it as, like that vacation mode. Like you got to get up and do stuff. I mean, work is work, right? Get up and do stuff. But it's not that bad. It's only 2 days a week. Mondays and Thursdays are gonna be up at the ass crack of dawn. What did suck was usually loading the truck will maybe take an hour and 20 max, like because you gotta do some stuff in the office. It took us 5 hours.
What the fuck? Why?
So there's
Did
still
you have to pay extra for like the time you took?
We've talked about that, right? But I'll explain. So some bullshit's going down still where they're still getting everything situated. And so the order for the merchandise was done under a single count for both my dad's and my uncle's route. So we get there and we start loading some stuff onto the truck. And then my uncle's like, wait, stop. We need to like split this shit evenly because it's not like you can take all this of this item and I can take all this of this item. No, it's not how it's going to work. So now they got to sit there and split. I don't know how many fucking boxes of shit, bro. This is fucking crazy. Basically, 2 of those trucks full of boxes of Takis and whatever, right? So we had to sit there and split it. And we were in the warehouse until 8:30, right? So from about 4:30 a.m. to 8:30. We were in there for about 4 hours.
Damn. That's a whole half fucking shift.
Yeah, about maybe 3.5, right? In there, just fucking loading stuff and organizing it. After that, my uncle had to do something else in the system to make sure our inventories were correct, right? Basically, making sure that when we look on our handheld, we have our correct truck full, and when he looks on his held, it's the correct, right? That took another 2 hours after we got out of we were still at the warehouse in the parking lot, but we like left. So at around 7:20, like around 7 actually, they start, new guys come in and they start like prepping new crates and stacking a bunch of shit, and they're supposed to press that up against the bay doors, but we're still next to these 2 bay doors like doing a bunch of shit. This white guy comes over and it's like, hey guys, what are y'all are here way past time, like you guys need to get out of here, we're supposed to be putting the stuff this way. My uncle looks at him and goes, bro, this ain't my fucking fault. Like, you know, like if the stuff had been done correctly, we would have our 2 separate routes, our 2 separate accounts, like 2 separate buys, we would have been long gone, right? But we, you know, whatever. And so the guy walks away all pissed, and then comes another dude comes by that is one of the guys that helps during the shift early in the morning to help my uncle's load, right? He's one of the guys in the warehouse that organized everybody's shit. And he comes by and he's like, hey Poppy, what are you doing here still? And he's like, bro, I got one order for both trucks, you know, I'm trying to separate all the stuff. And he goes, oh man, I get it, I know what's going on with like the separating the routes or whatever, like I know it's bullshit, you're good, whatever. And he's like, yeah, my uncle tells him like, yeah, they were telling me I gotta leave, whatever. He goes, forget about that guy. Like do your thing, don't worry about it. So I don't think they're gonna get in trouble for, you know, staying there after time, like I told you before that you can get in trouble for, whatever, pay however much an hour I think it is, like $150. They charge you an hour every hour you're after there after 6 o'clock. God damn. So
$150?
Yeah, because you got to pay the overtime, whatever, like the backtrack that these guys are gonna. You're fucking up their schedule, which we really did because we were there till 7:30, so an hour and a half extra than we were. We were in the warehouse till about 8:30. Yeah, around 8, and then that sucked. So we didn't get to start work. Like I left my house 4 in the morning, didn't start working like doing any of the routes or anything. We didn't get to the first place after 10:30. Yeah. Really
So is once you get back, is the routes gonna be split now?
So the route is already split in the sense where my dad has his stores and he has his stores, but the order for the merchandise was made all under one. And so that's why I asked my dad, I was like, make sure, like, can we please make sure for Thursday this is not like this? Because this should take an hour, bro. Like, we should be able to recognize this is our stuff, this is his stuff, load it, and get the fuck out of there, you know? Today...
Why aren't you putting the orders in?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I'm not sure why
That's what I'm saying.
Well, me? You saying me to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not part of that negotiation or conversation, bro. What do you mean?
He's just the helper.
Well, it's either you or your dad. Somebody's gonna have to put the order in.
He got to figure that shit the fuck out. I don't know. I don't think it's his problem. I don't think it's his fault or anything. He's waiting on them.
On who?
on the business, the company to provide stuff. Everything isn't set up properly, basically. Think of it that way.
Okay.
Today, we're at an account, and my dad is trying to do the invoice in this. He got really confused, right? And he's like, what the fuck do I do? He's like, he literally says, I'm about to slam this shit on the floor in the middle of Wawa. And I'm like, bro, what is that going to do? That's exactly what I told him. And what is that going to do? And he says, get my frustration out. And I was like, no, it's not.
You're going to be a lot angry.
And he just hands it to me and walks out. He goes have a cigarette or whatever. And, bro, the system is bullshit. It is so fucking bad. How, like, complicated the little handheld is. Doing all the invoices. Like, certain gas stations you go to, you can do one invoice. Other gas stations, you have to do a separate invoices for the separate brands of pastries you have. I ended up just deleting it all and restarting it, the whole process over again because he handed it to me and I'm like, yo, this is a fucking mess. I deleted it all, started the whole process over, and it was good because it was good that I did that because it made me learn it. And it's hilarious. We spent probably like an hour and a half at that stop, maybe almost 2 hours because of that. And then the next stop we went to, in my brain, I had like this process, and I told him, let's do it this, and this way. We went, like, I never stopped moving. That's the best part. Like, the next Wawa we got to, we did it really smooth and fast because I told him, like, for example, so Wawas, you have to, with a certain brand called Intamin, it's what they call on consignment. So you don't have to check any of the items in or none of that, right? You just have to do your count on the invoice of what's returned and what you're selling, right? Boom, you do that. And then you have for the bimbo and other items, you do have to check them in with one of the employees, count all of them and all that shit. And so I told him, look, when we get there, let's do the Intamin stuff first. Boom. And I go and I load that stuff already. And like it was in that way, it was the most efficient because none of us ever stopped moving. If we did it how my uncle kind of taught us, it's like basically while he's counting there, trying to add stuff to the list, I'm just sitting there. Like waiting for him to finish so we can go to the truck together and load it all together. It's like, no, this way everything is moving all together at once and none of us are stopping. We're constantly working.
Well, that's
and that
because you have
went
two
really
people.
fast.
He's probably doing it because he's working as one person.
Well,
So
in his head, he's
around.
still like he's so used to working as one person. I don't think he had in his head tried to optimize it for the two people yet. Which I don't know, whatever. This is pretty funny. We go to one store. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but it's okay. We go to one store. And
giving away sauce, guys. Write it down, paper and pen.
No, it's not sauce. It's just cheese, man. We go to one store. My dad goes, "Oh, in this store we only put Takis." Okay. When I go in, there's like a little section for pastries, and it's like half empty with some of our merchandise and stuff. And like the manager comes by, and my dad's talking to her, and she's like, "Yeah, like we're not taking any of that stuff right now. We just want Takis." And my dad's like, "Okay, well, just to let you know, my name is Eddie. I'm gonna be taking care of you guys now." Blah blah blah. And she goes, and he's like talking to her about like the talkies and stuff like that. And she goes, yeah, the other guy sucked. And we were like, what? She's like, yeah, the other guy sucked. Like, she's like, yeah, he would come maybe once every 2 weeks. That's why we don't take any of the pastries because like most of it was just expiring. We didn't like have an influx. Like it was really annoying. And my dad's like, okay, well, we'll be trying to come in once a week, this and that. And then just so happens that my uncle actually needed to meet up with us while we were at that stop. And so I knew he was coming and my dad goes, yo, call him and tell him don't fucking come inside. Just stay the fuck outside. And so the lady wouldn't see him because we had to do some like exchange in inventory. Basically, yesterday, I guess we fucked up and like took some of his stuff. He accidentally took some of our stuff. We had to like, swap some more shit. It was funny. Yeah, that shit was funny. And bro, you know what's really annoying doing the stuff? People think you work at the gas station.
Yeah, because they're fucking asking you a bunch of questions and shit.
All the time. Where's the bathroom? Like, bro, I don't fucking know. I'm just here doing shit. And then today, there was a long-ass line at, I don't know where it was. I think it was a racetrack or a speedway we were at. Long-ass line. There's only one clerk, and I'm loading some Takis onto the shelf. And this big, fat black girl looks behind me and goes, are you a clerk here? No. Okay. And I chuckled. I had to laugh because there's just this long ass line.
You already know what's coming.
Yeah, I had to laugh, bro. I chuckled under my breath. Trying not to get smacked by some black girl, but yeah, that shit was funny because, bro, does it look like I work here? I mean, I guess maybe stocking shelves, but I don't got no uniform on. I got like normal day clothes on.
I've learned this shit. Anytime I see them like fucking stocking chips and shit, and they got that computer in their hand, I looked at them. I have a question. I don't even fucking bother.
No,
Most of the
ask
time they
them.
don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, bro, they're stocking shelves from the companies. You know, like almost, not almost, all the shit you see in a gas station is put up by vendors.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess, you know, you have Wawa that has their in-house
Yeah.
kitchen that they bake stuff and they put
Yeah,
it out.
a bunch of people they
But
don't
most
know,
of
bro.
the shit
People
there,
are
bro, is
ignorant,
is
bro.
stocked by vendors.
People are ignorant.
Not even just gas stations, like people at just groceries.
Yeah.
Best Buy even.
Yeah, like, you know,
Well,
and we have a bunch of
all of
like
this
little,
stuff.
you know, like corner store, deli mart, stuff like that. That they don't not gas stations, but they're like little corner stores that we go and we stock shit.
Well, like a good example of that is like that video that went viral, you know, when we posted. Motherfuckers will watch only half of it and comment some dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like they don't even understand what the whole.
I did
point
think that
of the
was pretty
video-
funny. You know, talking to Miggy and I was like, you know, I don't look at comments at all. I never for one moment
Yeah.
went into that post and looked at the comments, but you know, it comes up as notifications on my shit,
Yeah.
and so I can see, oh, so and so commented
Yeah.
this, and it kind of tells me like the first few words, or whatever. And I will see some of them, and I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers clearly didn't watch the video.
They don't like, or it's like they'll watch the whole thing, but
Can we
then
get chat up, Miggy?
one thing.
Thank you.
One thing gets them like pissed off, or one thing gets them like
The
mad,
first
and then
sentence.
they're just cyclical on that thing, and they just don't fucking move. Like
Yeah.
this is what it is.
That shit was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just
They
you know.
clearly are not watching to the end.
I had a fucking guy on there comment and say that if you buying dinner for your wife or whatever, that's considered fucking
I
prostitution.
saw something about that.
And I was like,
yeah.
you gotta be fucking out of your mind. I had to go as far as into a dictionary, pull up the fucking explanation of prostitution and put it on there for him.
Yeah.
Bro, fucking retarded. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. Or the YouTube thing.
The algorithm.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the algorithm. I'm sorry, but that's just like it's silly, man. Like
Yeah, it
it's
is
really
pretty
really.
funny.
Anyway,
And you know, I'm someone that I don't comment. I barely like shit. Right? I'm very
Yeah.
inactive in social media in the sense where I may consume a lot of the content, but I'm not active in the
Yeah,
sense
yeah,
where I
yeah.
don't engage with shit, right? But let me tell you something. If I'm gonna fucking comment on something, I'll make sure to watch the whole fucking thing.
yeah, because you
Right?
don't want to sound like an idiot. You don't want to sound like an idiot.
That shit was
The
pretty
lady
funny.
comes in and says, "Well, he didn't have sex with a prostitute." I mean, really, lady? Out of the whole thing, that's
It's
what
just-
you got?
The thing is, our attention span is so fucking like short that we just want to comment something. Like you could put a whole entire joke, right, and not give any context, and then give the context at the end. You're gonna get a lot of negative comments saying something because they didn't watch till the end to get that it's a joke.
Yeah, dude, it's just I don't understand like this, and these are the people that vote. You understand that? These are the people that are going to elect your next president.
A lot of the people don't really want to vote. It's just
I
they
mean,
feel like it's useless.
I mean, go to the presidential elections. I have this whole thing from CNN on both sides basically, but these are the polls. Like these are CNN and
What does that little thing say? Incumbent. Oh.
incumbent, yeah. So this is who we have. We have Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, and Ron DeSantis on the Republican side, right? Ron DeSantis is basically going to drop out because he just lost the Iowa caucus, and that was the thing for him to win, and Trump won that by a fucking landslide, basically, right? So this is what we have. Nikki Haley, warmongering lady. Ron DeSantis eating yogurt with 2 fingers. You know what I mean? Donnie talking hella shit. You know?
Donnie's Donnie, bro.
And then you have on the other side, you have Sleepy Joe about to fucking not be active at all because he's mentally incapacitated. I mean, it is Sleepy
Oh,
Joe, though.
shit.
Go down. Then we have this other lady. I even never heard of this.
Who is this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who is this lady?
Who is this woman?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or this man?
Yeah, we don't judge.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not gonna assume.
Like, she's 71. You know what I mean? Go down. He's 54. He's younger. At least he's younger. But I don't understand. Go back out to the the third party. Third party, we have
Robert F. Kennedy.
We have
Jr.
Kennedy Jr. He's right up there with age, but at least he does the TRT, so he's kind of keeping his shape.
If for whatever reason he does get elected, is he getting off too? Is he following family tradition? Is he following in the footsteps?
I don't know. I do know that this motherfucker sounds like he smoked 40 packs a day.
Yeah, I don't know if.
I don't know if he smokes or I think it's the TRT that he's taking. That's the testosterone.
That's fucking with his throat.
Fucking with his it makes his voice deeper.
Deeper.
Well, that's what he does.
Raspy as
raspy as fuck. Because if you ever heard Ronald, his voice is
listen.
raspy. It's not deep.
Imagine having to listen to a UN speech of this man.
Yeah, it would be tough.
No.
Now go down.
Dying
This gentleman,
laughing.
this Cornel West. I was like, oh shit, Cornel West. Okay, let's read about this a little bit. Harvard University, Princeton. He's a professor, blah, blah, blah. And then I start reading what
motherfucker got a crazy gap.
Yeah, forget the gap.
Mike Tyson type gap.
And then I'm reading campaign positions. And I start reading campaign positions. I was like, damn, bro. Wealth tax on billionaire holdings and transactions. Basically, wealth tax, if you have $1 billion, we're going to tax you. And if you have a transaction, we're going to tax you more. National $27 minimum wage. Establish a federal universal basic income commission. Bruh. Transform paid family leave to mandatory, a minimum of 6 months family.
I don't know about y'all, but this guy kind of reminds me of somebody.
Karl Marx. I mean, I see the resemblance. And then I started reading about him. I was like, bro, like you gotta be, if you want to be a candidate, you can't just go out there and throw these crazy ass wants and needs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this was another article.
This motherfucker sounds like the guy, like he's like the incarnation of that chick from Last of Us. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The wife of his brother.
Yeah.
He's walking around like, yeah, like we are communism. That's exactly what we are.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this lady, I don't know who she is, and never heard
that
of
shit
her.
was pretty funny in the show because Joel, what's his name? Pedro Pascal's character Joel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sounds like a commune to me, and his brother goes, no, it's not like that, and she looks and goes, no, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, yeah. Go to the other ones, the ones that demonstrate these polls. Look at this shit. Iowa Republican caucus, Donnie wins by literally double the amount. Right, Ron DeSantis was supposed to win to stay in the
bro. He
race.
eats pudding with his fingers.
No.
And have you seen the shit about his boots?
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's been known, like if you're taller, you get elected. So he's playing off of that.
You guys have seen the clip of like PPD talking to him about, yeah, I brought you some sneakers. I heard you're this size. Like, you know, will you go ahead and put them on to prove you're not 5'11"? This and that. He didn't do it.
No, he didn't. So, Nikki Haley is from Massachusetts, I think, and they're even talking about her using. Look at the numbers, bro. Donnie double.
Is she bad?
Is she bad?
Bro, that's a 71-year-old woman.
Nikki Haley.
It sounds like
sounds
yeah, right.
Attractive.
I mean, maybe 50 years ago.
Yeah.
No, Nikki Haley.
I mean, she looks like she was a pretty girl back in the day.
Nikki Haley has taken a whole lot of money from defense contracting companies, and her number one thing.
Fuck that, man. We're talking about she's fuckable right now.
She's not fuckable.
Back in the day, maybe.
No, dude.
Back in the day, I mean, every single girl is back in the day fuckable. Like you gotta go back.
Bro, that's old.
That's bro.
You gotta realize she's 70s, bro. They probably don't have pictures of her when she was young. They didn't have cameras back then.
They had to. There's no way.
I'm just fucking with you. They had cameras.
Now go back. How old
I'm
is
just
Nikki
saying.
Haley? Just look up how old is Nikki Haley.
She said she was like 71, 72.
I don't know if she's that old.
Yeah, bro.
51.
No, 51. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
shit.
not
She
that
hasn't
old.
retired yet.
That's the
She's
other
alright.
lady that's old.
Yeah, the other lady, the Democratic runner.
Nikki Haley, look up 20 years old.
I don't know. Nikki Haley took a bunch of money from.
I don't know, man. She's one of those people that just don't change very often, you know? She still has
Maybe.
that same face.
Maybe.
She looks like the woman or the witch who gave Snow White the apple.
Oh, shit.
Now,
Oh my god. Is that...
Alex has a good point. He put on the chat 8 people.
Does that look like The Hobbit to you guys?
Stop!
like
It's a
the Lord of
child,
the
bro.
Rings-
Stop making fun of children.
Why? We
little-
can't make fun of children?
I mean, they're ugly.
Fuck them
She
kids.
looks like the
Hobbit.
little fucking. I forgot
Oh,
what his name was.
Oh,
Dobby?
Dobby.
My precious.
Oh, you're talking about the one from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing
Yeah.
is called. Yeah,
Smigul.
something like that.
Smigul.
You watched Lord of the Rings? You've watched that before?
Yeah.
I never watched
Smigul,
that
bro.
one. I never. Bro, he got it. He's the
Gollum.
Gollum. Yeah, but his name is Smigul, no?
No, it's Gollum.
That. Yeah, but that's like what he is. But his name is Smigul. Right.
Gollum speaks an idiocentric manner, often referring to himself in the third person, and frequently talks to himself in The Hobbit. He always refers to himself as my precious.
Oh, that's himself. My precious is him.
So who's
referring to
Smigul? Look up who's Smigul.
Smeagol.
That's the actor for the Gollum.
Yeah, Smeagol. You're right. That is his name.
Smigul. That's his name.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it was this motherfucker who played
Yes,
it.
bro.
That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movies, but I know.
So
the character
Alex
did
have
well.
a point. He has 8 people have more wealth than the rest of the world. We could tax them at 90% and they still have billions. But we would have a fuck ton of taxes. Now, you are absolutely 100% correct. However, these people amounted this money and they have this money. Why should we tax them?
Gollum is Smeagol's alternate personality.
Alternate.
That's what it said. No.
No.
Alternate.
No, you said something else.
Alternative. My bad. My
no,
bad.
what did you said something
Alt?
else.
He said
No.
alt.
Alt.
Ultimate. Say ultimate.
Oh,
I
he
need
said
to run
alt.
it back.
You know-
I need to run it back. You just said something funny.
No, he said alt, but it sounded like alt, like with a U instead of A.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyway, but what I'm trying to say, see, like taxing these people. I mean, yeah, they are the richest people. Yeah, they have more money than the rest of the world, but it's their money. How can you
The
take
thing
that away
about
from
that-
them?
The thing about taxes, right? The poor don't like to get taxed. The middle class doesn't get.
No
to
one
get
likes to
taxed.
get taxed.
The high class doesn't like to get taxed. And when you do add more taxes, it discourages all of the classes from even moving.
Well, the question here is if they've amounted ton of money from however ways they've gotten it, they've gotten this money, it's theirs. It would be equivalent of me coming in and saying, you know what, majority of people have houses, we're gonna start taking them away.
Oh shit! I need to do something.
You know, like I
Give me
don't
2 minutes.
I
guys. I'll be
don't
back.
know if I agree with taxing these people on the money
Would
that
you
they've
agree
earned.
though that it would discourage a lot of people from even like wanting to create something or create
Yeah,
a
100%.
business,
And then
invest?
that would encourage people trying to hide that money as much as they can. Like you can't.
A lot of people try and do that already.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
everybody's trying to get away from taxes.
yeah, because the more taxes a worker earns their money, why do the ones with the most money pay the least in our system?
Again, because everybody tries to not pay taxes, so they figure out the ways of not paying it.
Yeah, because when you have money, money makes money, right? Like a lot of times they don't touch this money. They have this money and it sits somewhere. That's why they don't pay taxes a lot of times. This money sits and earns money, and if you don't touch it, it's not going to. That's the whole system, right? Like you earn the money and you don't touch it and you don't pay taxes on it. The minute you touch it, you pay taxes on it.
Another thing about big players are that not only do they make big money and potentially save big money, but when they lose money, they lose a shit ton of money as well.
Yes.
They lose everything
Yeah,
because a lot of that money is not even theirs.
correct. Like for example, right now, Twitter. When Elon bought Twitter and made it X, right now Twitter is down 75%. And when he was doing that, and we went to these people saying, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna sell a bunch of my Tesla shares, and that's gonna be half part of the money, and the other part I'm looking for investors." And when the investors came in, he pretty much told them, "Hey, listen, this is expensive. I wouldn't suggest buying this." He's tweeted multiple times, "Don't buy Twitter. It's too expensive." And right now X is worth less money. And because of him selling that many Tesla shares to buy X, Twitter, now X, now he's having a problem where he doesn't have as much ownership of Tesla as he wanted to control Tesla the way he wants to control it.
The thing about Elon is that when you invest in his stocks, you're playing the believe in Elon game too.
Yeah,
Because if anything fucking goes wrong with him, whatever he says, whatever stupid decision that you may not agree with that he takes, he fucks up your whole entire portfolio.
He does, yeah. And started reading a book about Elon, which is really, really interesting, and it kind of tells you why Elon is the way he is. It's in the beginning of stages.
Shit, dude, nobody even
1
knows
hour
who they
into
are
it.
themselves.
I'm 1 hour into it. It's an interesting book about Elon, but the point here is that these people have created wealth and they made companies and they made money. Now, if Elon wanted to take all of his money right now by him selling, like he's close to a trillionaire, right? He's close to a trillionaire, but right, he doesn't have any of that money in cash. That's just his net worth. That's what he's worth. But right now, if he wanted to get cash out, he'd probably get a couple of million out, not more, in cash. I don't see him getting more money out. How, like, he literally needs to sell all of his shares in Tesla. The minute he starts selling all of his shares, the company's gonna start tanking. He ain't gonna make no money. Everything that he owns, SpaceX, everything, like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, yes, they are the richest people in the world. Yes, that's true, but they don't have that money in cash. So
It's almost a faith system.
yeah, like for example, Berkshire Hathaway, right? Berkshire Hathaway owns a bunch of companies, and one share of Berkshire Hathaway is $550,000 last I checked. To buy one share of Berkshire Hathaway, it's owned by Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world. He controls the biggest, probably arguably the largest portfolio, investment portfolio in the world, right? However, he doesn't own this money. This is money that other people gave him, right? So I don't know. It's strange, but I want to kind of look at those election numbers, right? Like
What up,
bring
fo?
up some of those numbers. If you bring up some of those numbers,
Which numbers?
yeah. So these are. I've tried to get a bunch of articles from different sources. So we got Gallup that says that Trump and Biden are evenly matched. Go down. So as far as elections go, you know what I mean.
It says that Biden viewed favorably by 41% of U.S. adults versus 49% in October of 2020. Trump's 42% favorite rating is down slightly from 45% in 2020. Biden has seen most loss of support amongst young adults and people of color.
So this, I don't know if this article is like a assassination piece on Biden or
You
not.
think so?
Well, I don't know because overall the Democratic Party has always been with young adults and also people of color. Have always been after the support. They would always support the Democratic Party, but now they're saying that they're losing demographic in that, right? So here's what I found interesting. I found interesting that if it's down to
You're absolutely right, fo. Tate Jr. over here.
uh, if it's down to Donnie and Biden, all of the people that are with Nikki Haley are going to go to Biden. Because
You think so?
Yeah, because people that are with Nikki Haley, they despise Donnie.
Right.
These people despise Donnie and they're gonna go for him. Now Vivek Ramaswamy came out and he publicly said that he's gonna go and help Donnie secure whatever. He's gonna campaign with him, right? Vivek is the young Indian guy that is a businessman that was going. So anyway, he fell out.
Right. I heard about that. Actually,
Yeah, he fell out and he's gonna help Donnie.
Ramaswamy?
Yeah,
something like
I
that?
think what is Vivek doing? He came very close to Donnie's party. You know what I mean? They came close to each other. Like, and then Donnie was like, "I know what you're doing, motherfucker. It's time for you to sit down and let Papa take over, right?" And that's exactly what happened. Vivek sat down, but Vivek, I think, wants to get that vice presidency locked down.
How old is this guy?
40 something. He's I think 43. He's one of the youngest people that went for the presidency. I think he's 43 or something like that, 44.
Yeah, he looks young.
Super
I saw
young.
a video of him the other day where there was, I guess they had some kind of event, going on for him. And there was this guy outside protesting, and he went outside and invited the guy in and said, like, you don't have to be out here. You can
He's
come
38
in.
years old. He's younger than my brother.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He's very young.
Yeah, he's very young. And he invited like one of the guys in
Yeah.
and was like, "Look, like come inside. Like we can ask questions. We can talk to you." And when the guys like started picking up his stuff, Vivek went and like grabbed his stuff and helped him in. It was being pretty nice of him.
Yeah, so they were saying like this whole Iowa caucus thing, the reason they saying that Ron DeSantis was actually is in front of What's up, Santiago? Thanks for stopping by. The reason they're saying that he's a little bit ahead of Nikki Haley is because he was going to all these podcasts and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Who did he do a pod with that was like a big podcaster? Didn't he do one with
No, boys.
Nelk? Right. Nelk. You're right. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it, but I
So
saw he did
Vivek
that.
is bringing only 7% out of Iowa, but I think once what's his name, our governor kind of falls out of DeSantis, falls out of the race. I think majority of those people are gonna go towards Trump, and then Nikki Haley's people, majority of them gonna go towards Biden because they just despise Trump, right? Like that's the whole idea.
They'll literally do it just because.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear cut who's going to be on the other end. That's why you don't have that many candidates on the Democratic side. It's just the incumbent president, Biden. You know, so it's going to be very interesting what's going to happen. I really think they're gearing this. I really think there's a 30% chance that Michelle Obama is going to step in. I think Biden is going to say, I'm going to sail into the sunset, and I think Michelle Obama is going to step in. I really think that's what's going to happen.
Michelle Obama's going to run?
I don't know, man. There's lately's been some interviews with her that are like questioning, because there was an interview, she's like, oh, I'm having a hard time sleeping, seeing what's going on, and things like that. Like, she would be throwing these little things out. So I think there's a 30% chance that Michelle Obama might be coming in.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that can't go to sleep with all this shit.
I know, but Michelle Obama, remember, Michelle Obama has a lot of pull. She was the ex-president of, she's the wife of the ex-president. Michelle Obama had this big movement for our children in schools to make children more healthy and things like that. She's done a lot of philanthropy shit.
She ruined my fucking lunches. And she ruined my fucking... No, I'm just kidding.
Whether she done that, whether she didn't do that, a lot of people love that idea, right? Like, so... Ron was going to quit if he got third, but now he says he's staying. Yes. So, but then here's a problem with Ron. His presidential campaign person came out there and started complaining, like, well, who's giving these numbers out? Like, you know when they're complaining when they know they lost. Yeah. They're like, who's giving these poll numbers? This is too early. Blah blah. No, bitch, we already know you lost. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
You did that to me about the Corolla and the Elantra.
What about it?
No, where'd you get these numbers from?
Yeah, where'd you get those numbers from, bro?
You fucking bitch. Alex, I'm curious on what you have to say about Jay's Michelle Obama theory.
I think there's a 30% chance Michelle Obama is gonna step in, bro.
Conspiracy theory and a half right there.
Because I mean,
and I like it.
I mean, it's either Michelle Obama or they're gonna give it away to Kamala. Because Kamala is gonna run this.
The Clintons.
Kamala is gonna run this show.
Bring back the Clintons to the White House.
I don't know if the Clintons' name being in that book of Epstein, bro. I think they just kind of shit the bucket on that one.
That shit sounds insane the way you put it. The book of Epstein.
The book of Epstein, bro.
I mean, it's the book. You know what I'm saying? It's the book of Epstein.
Sounds some biblical shit.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
With Clinton's being on that, which Obama was mentioned in the name, but Obama never really had like
he was hanging out with Michelle Obama too much.
Yeah, and I think Michelle Obama has a very good chance. She's loved by everyone. She did.
Fuck you, me.
She did that. They just did that that movie that came out. This directed by Michelle. I think they had something to do with Michelle Obama and Barack Obama actually were consultants on making this movie, and this movie is like an apocalyptic movie.
Which one? The Sound of Freedom?
No. There's another one that's coming up. Ron and Nikki both gave speeches like they beat Trump. Yeah, that was just dumb. Michelle Obama has confirmed multiple times she's not running. Yes, you're correct. She has confirmed multiple times, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Michelle Obama.
Everybody gives a talk. They're winning, like at a UFC event. I'm gonna beat your ass. Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass.
So you know what Michelle Obama is? You ever seen that movie? It's called The Vice. It's about Dick Cheney becoming the vice president for the father and the son. They were presidents.
Oh, Bushes.
Becoming for the Bush Jr. Vice president for Bush Jr. For many things, they're going back and forth to Dick Cheney, and they're saying, hey, become. And it's like, no. The last moment, it says, okay, I'll become the vice president only if you allow me to do things the way I want to do it. It's a great movie if you want to watch it, like how things are manipulated in a politics. Great ass fucking movie. You know, watch this. It's called The Vice, right? It's a really good movie. So anyway, I think, man, I think Michelle Obama is coming. But go into some of those numbers. I had some more numbers, like as far as like it like charts, you know, like who's winning, who's losing. Like it was one of the other articles. Keep going down on this. No, that's not it. There was another one. There was another chart. No. Anyway. So you guys heard of the Mar-a-Lago, right?
Yeah.
Heard of it.
The whole thing about Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Give us a breakdown for
Mar-a-Lago was this property that's owned by Donald Trump, right?
I remember this. Yes.
It broke out that it's only worth $18 million. However, a lot of people say no, that's bullshit. It's worth $1.5 billion, and they're all saying this judge said that it's worth $18 million.
Oh, I know. You know, PPD did this real about it recently.
Yes, he did. Now, but what is a lot of people forgetting to say? The judge pretty much came out and said, "Stop saying that. That's what I valued this property at." So apparently, a group that's in charge of in that Palm Beach area of valuing these things valued this at 18 million, and then the judge took that and said, well, this is what the valuation is. I'm going to say it's 18 million. However, have you seen Mar-a-Lago? Pull up Mar-a-Lago. Now, is it worth $1.5 billion? I'm not sure, but it's sure as shit not an $18 million compound.
Yeah, that's true.
Pull the other one up.
18 million.
Pull the other one, the one to the left. That is not $18 million. In Palm Beach, in one of the most coveted historic areas of piece of land, that is not $18 million. There's no way.
On the beach?
On a beach, yeah. Like literally, you can toss a rock, hit the beach.
I'll find you a $18 million 2-2 in fucking downtown St. Petersburg, goddammit.
Yeah, you're right. She would have to register by the ballots for now. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. This presidential election is a complete fucking shit show.
I think Jay just wants Obama back in the house.
No, I just want controversy. I want some shit thrown out there. I want fists. You know what I mean?
You want to hear some shit? We mentioned Tesla earlier. I saw this video of this guy breaking down about how the Tesla beating the Porsche, the Tesla Cybertruck, towing a Porsche 911, beating the Porsche 911,
Yes.
and the quarter mile was fake.
Was it?
When they show where the Tesla beats the Porsche is at the 8th mile mark, where and you can see in the video the Porsche is gaining on the Tesla. So they're saying that this guy broke down the calculations and all this shit. He's saying that the if it was a whole quarter mile, the Porsche would have won.
Okay.
Now,
Are they really fucking comparing a Cybertruck pulling a Porsche to a Porsche? Hey, Porsche would have fucking won.
This is
Porsche
what
should have won from a start. They should have won from the start.
Now, this is what I think. I think that Tesla didn't necessarily need to do this.
Why not?
Because they tried to prove, the car is faster than a Porsche 911. Bro,
No,
it's a truck.
I didn't think they try to prove the car is faster than a. Yes, to an average person, it's gonna look like that they're trying to prove that the car is faster than a Porsche. But the whole thing is, it's a truck that's pulling a Porsche that's going faster than a Porsche. I think that's what they were trying to say. Not that they can fucking beat it, Yeah, go a mile, the Porsche's probably gonna take over. But to me, you're a Porsche, you should fucking win.
It's a basic Porsche, bro.
Doesn't matter. It's a fucking Porsche.
It's a basic Porsche that doesn't even have 400 horsepower. You want it to beat a 1,000 horsepower truck?
No, I understand. I get it.
I
get it.
So,
I get it.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like the whole thing was like, they didn't really need to do this. It was like a weird fucking.
Yeah, they did.
No, it was
Yeah, they did.
Elon trying to swing his dick around.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't need to do it.
And it works.
No, it doesn't work.
Yes, it does.
It
That's
created a lot of
literally-
boom around it, but
that's
people are gonna
literally-
buy the Cybertruck regardless.
Yeah, people are still gonna buy the Cybertruck. It created a lot more boom about it. There's a lot more people to talk about it because you understand, like, we're in an age of trolling. We're in an age of fucking trolling. The more you troll, the more you
And
get.
Elon is one hell of a troll.
Yeah, he is one hell of a troll, and he's doing his job really, really well. I mean, he did paid $46 billion, right, for Twitter. Might as well use it. That's a $46
He
billion
came in and
toy.
said-
That's a very expensive toy, my friend.
expensive
You know,
toy,
it's a very expensive toy. Might as
Yeah.
well just use it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know, but pick another article. I think we stuck around too long on this presidential candidacy and all this bullshit. Our favorite Your Tango, the bullshit website, came out with their 14 psychological tricks smart people use to gain control no matter.
Jay,
of
you
the
still bringing these
circumstances.
fucking articles, man.
I have to, bro. I have to. This is the Comedy Central, you know.
All right, let's roast. Who we roasting today? Give us our.
We have our own little segment
Yeah.
on roasting your tango.
Give us who's sitting in the hot seat today. Francesca Duarte. Bitch, we already know you don't know shit.
Let's look at her face.
Okay. She's like I can tell you.
She's as my friend Angel would say, breedable.
And she looks like she does a lot of those. What do you call those? When you go on
Bumps?
no. Yeah, that. She's into eco vacationing.
Eco vacation. What the
Eco,
fuck is that?
eco vacationing?
Eco
Eco,
vacation?
yeah.
Motherfucker. It has
I'm
a-
starting
it has
to
an H.
think these are just Tinder matches that Jay gets, and he's just trying to promote them on the pod.
I got you, girl. How many subscribers you want?
Eco.
Yeah, eco vacationing. You
What
know?
does that mean?
That's like, you live in treetops and smoke a
That's
little bit of
what you
weed
told
here
him.
and there.
Oh,
Do a little dance, like,
All
and then
right, so
scream because it makes
apparently
you super
There's
strong.
14 psychological tricks, according to her, that smart people use to gain control in any situation.
Controlling bitch.
Number one is when someone partially answers your question, stay silent. That actually kind of works sometimes.
Yeah, when you're just like kind of quiet and they're like, what the fuck's going on? Because they're going to continue talking.
And then they continue talking, trying to explain what they're trying to say. It's weird. It's fucked up, but it works. You know?
Yeah, I'm
All
okay
right.
with that.
Number
It's
two,
rude as fuck, but it does work.
when you want something from someone, frame it as an opportunity rather than a request.
No, that's a
Manipulative ass.
manipulative as fuck, but it
shit.
works really well.
Yeah, I think all the shit works, but damn, are you a bitch for doing it?
When meeting people for the first time, pay attention to their eye color. I don't know what the fuck is that supposed to mean. Habitually taking note of the color of someone's eyes when you meet them will ensure you look them in the eyes, thus making a strong, confident impression. So, making eye contact?
Yeah.
You know what I will say? When you make eye contact with new people, if they're not socially awkward, they take you more serious that way.
Yes. If they're socially awkward, they start looking away.
Yes.
And then there are people that
fucks
always
with them.
they always have that look right there. And when
See,
you look
now
at them,
people
like,
who like just yes, people who do that into your eyes, that shit bothers me.
Dude,
Yeah.
the crazy
But you know,
eyes.
if you can make eye contact pretty frequently, it kind of I think it makes people take you more seriously. Certain kinds of people.
yeah.
Number 4, remember and use people's names when talking to them.
Yeah, people's names when talking. I think that's pretty important. Remembering people's names, and the best way is if you can take the name, and then I've heard that you take the name and you equate it to something
See,
that you can recall
this
it
is
back
what I'm
quickly.
saying, bro. Your brain works in fractions and formulas. Just remember their fucking name. That's all it is.
I'm really bad with names.
I'm really bad with names.
You're so
too.
bad at names that you created a whole formula.
I
to
didn't. I read
remember
about
people's
this.
I
names.
hate when, bro. Sometimes like this is funny because this happens when I'm with Emily. Sometimes
I'm not that fucking smart.
I'll meet someone new, right? And I'll talk to them. They'll tell me their name, and boom, after the conversation's over, and Emily's like, "Yeah, that guy you're talking to earlier. What was his name again?" I'll be like, "Damn, what the fuck was his name again?"
Yeah, because you don't pay
And
attention.
it's funny too because I'm like, "Fuck, man, that guy was cool. Like, why the fuck can I remember his name?"
On my way here, I went to get the Zins over the gas station, and the guy over at the counter asked me, "Bro, you smell very good. Can I get a cologne?" He was Indian.
That was a terrible Indian.
Yeah, but maybe not.
It was just a foreigner accent. You
Yeah.
couldn't even put it where it was.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like an Indian, so I didn't do the head bobbing part. It was someone from that region, but he really liked my cologne, and I had to write that shit down. That shit's long as fuck. When I had
What-
to actually
what
write it
cologne
down,
is it?
Dude. Jean Paul Gaultier Limel Elixir. That's a long fucking cologne name. So he had me write it down, and then he handed me the phone to also look it up for him. I spent like 3 minutes over there extra.
Till you met bros, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
So my cologne, in conclusion, my cologne doesn't pick up women, but it does attract guys.
have
Indian ones at that.
My
Have
bike
zero-
is an Indian, and it also attracts guys. We've got something going on here.
And same thing happens with us and our watches.
or nice cars.
It depends on the nice car. If it's like a Lambo or Ferrari, you know.
I like the color.
No, I mean, but Porsches like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bitches don't care about Porsches.
No.
Nah.
Have zero expectation while trying something new. Yeah, I agree with that. Like if you trying those
I think that
big ass ants in Colombia, don't have any expectations.
no, bro. This
Just
is
eat
talking
'em?
about people. Yeah. So
Oh.
when you're talking to people, yeah, this motherfucker. You're talking to people. Yeah, I think that is actually a really smart thing to do. Where it's kind of like you present your demeanor in a way like you don't expect
Just friend zone
anything
them.
out of it. Yeah,
Just friends on them straight up.
Pay attention to how people treat others.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
For
agree with
sure,
that.
definitely.
Absolutely.
7. Wait in silence after stating your position in a negotiation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you should try and listen and
If you're
understand
negotiating,
and
you-
then give your.
It's a very crucial part of negotiating is just, hearing the other person out.
And
So,
I think it's
And they'll
funny.
tell you what they want.
Ready? You can be in a negotiation, argument, whatever, conversation, debate with somebody, right? And they can be talking about what they're, you're explaining something to me. And if I don't focus myself on paying attention to what you're listening to, and I try and already start coming up with my rebuttal before you finish what you're coming out, I don't read you correctly.
Mhm.
I spit out my shit expecting for you to get it across without completely understanding what you said in the first place.
Yep.
Because you
'Cause
start
you're
missing
arguing the
things.
first part. Of the
Not
conversation.
only that you're arguing the first part, but you don't read on cues like the way you're saying it or what may be more important to on a certain part of the subject than another. Because you're like thinking and trying to
Kind of
listen
like
at the
that
same
reel
time.
we had.
Which one?
The reel that went viral.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, they started like thinking about the rebuttal and this and that before it even finished.
Mhm.
Number 8. Chewing gum while doing stressful activities.
Yeah.
Chewing gum is proven to impact our minds in various ways, from increasing our memory to relieving anxiety.
Me and Mickey have adult gum now, Zins.
Uh,
I was thinking about that. I was in a gas station today. I was like, damn, Zins are basically adult gum.
That's what it is. Yeah. When you learn something new, teach it to others. Yeah, I agree with this.
This is
Like
called
if you
the
can teach
prodigy
this,
effect.
yeah.
I've never heard that been called the prodigy effect.
Protégé effect. Protégé.
Ask people questions about themselves.
Protégé is a student. It's French for student.
Was it with a Y or an E?
It wasn't an E.
Oh yeah, protege.
E and a fancy E.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
with the thing. It's
You
protege.
got a te, protege.
Protégeme, Señor, con tu espíritu.
10.
Where the
Ask
fuck did
people
that come
question
from?
about themselves.
I remember those, videos when girls are about to kill the dude because he did something wrong. Protégeme, Señor. Ask people questions about themselves. Yeah, that's
Asking
like
people about questions about themselves. I mean, it just allows you to gain deeper understanding on how somebody thinks.
it works really well with girls. Like you tell them about things and you ask them about themselves.
Force yourself to smile when you don't want to. See, when I was younger, I would smile a lot more, and I feel like a lot of people, like, growing up in my family, told me, "Hey, you should smile more often," or "Why do you have that serious face?" I don't know, man. It's just fake smiling hurts.
No, fake smiling, like it's dumb.
My cheek, like, it hurts.
No, fake smiling is dumb. But when you see somebody and you feel like genuinely excited to meet them, you get a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You just gotta get to that point. I
12.
guess.
What about that girl at the Burger King?
Oh
That
yeah,
didn't smile. I thought you said that she didn't have to. I thought
But
you
she
said
was
she had
working.
to smile.
but she was working.
No, I told her I said she should smile because that's part of her duties to smile. She gets hired to
We
smile.
already talked about this.
Front facing.
Stand up straight to look and feel more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when you, like I said, there's certain ways that when you present yourself initially to people, you will gain more respect and understanding out of them, and vice versa, when you do things like that.
From everything
Or like
as
the
a
eye
choice
contact
when it
thing.
comes to kids.
Frame everything as a choice when it comes to kids. See, if you want to be their friend, I guess, but as a parent, this is not, this is
Yeah,
not.
nah, we're getting this only.
And 14, use the word because when asking people for favors.
Because when asking.
So you're giving them an explanation as to why you're asking for something?
What? Hey, can you help me, please?
According to Harvard Business Review, even if the reason makes no sense or is unrelated to the request, people like to know why they're being asked to do something.
See, this is where I might disagree in a sense, even if the reason makes no sense. Because when people ask me for a favor, and I'm like, bro, you can do it like this, or why aren't you doing it this way, or like that. When I don't say that, but when they give me the explanation instantly in my head, I'm like, what? What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
And so that is gonna irritate me more when you ask me the favor if it's a bullshit ass reason. Now, if you have a legit reason, I'm like, yeah, I want to help this guy, whatever. You're my friend, whatever, maybe.
I definitely like to know what the favor is about before anything. Like the other day, I was in my room and my mom's screaming out my name, Miguel, Miguel, hi Miguel, and I'm in my room and I'm like, what? She's not fucking saying anything.
I hate that, bro.
And then
Eddie, what?
And then
silence. You're like, fuck.
And then I'm like, what? She replies, come out here, and I'm like, I'm busy. Tell me what you need me for. I asked that because if it's an emergency, I'll run out and I'll go do something. But if you just keep telling, Miguel, I'm not coming out.
Well, that's family, though. Family is a little different. I think if it was a foreign, like somebody that's not family, I'd agree with that. But if it's family, does it fucking matter? Does it really matter?
So as family, it's a little different, right? But I guess if it is someone new, like, you're, asking someone for something real quick, like, hand me this, my bad, because I was doing this, whatever, right?
So go back to that wine. So I'm gonna quickly go over this. This is about Israel. So basically, what they're saying is war in Gaza is testing Israel's economy. A second front against Hezbollah could break it. So basically, what they're saying, bunch of people from little tiny towns in Israel that are close to Iranian and Syrian border and whatever, they're running away because of what's happening. And what they're saying that some of these economies in those areas are suffering, so they don't have workers and things like that. So another push could really be devastating. Anyway, move on to the next article.
What's it called?
Could lose internet access in April. What you need to know. So this had to do with services. So basically, what happens is they want to fix the roads and also what includes internet access. However, the persons that are in charge of fixing these roads came out to the government and said, hey, we need more money. And, because it's going to cost a lot more money to do this. And so far it hasn't been approved, right? So they're saying this could be happening. But we all know what's going to happen. They're going to get their money. It's just as long. Now, there was another article that I guys wanted you to read about. And that was about the article with the very last one. Go pull up that article. It's with United. So Elon Musk recently got in a fight with United. United CEO... United CEO enrages Musk, Larry Elder, and social media for viral, diverse hiring comments. This is messed up. Okay, so basically, Musk tweeted that something along the lines like, hey, basically they're hiring people that are mentally incapacitated or challenged and this and that to work within the air. FCC is basically okay with that. Now, this is a rule from 2013. It's not a new rule. It's just social media got a hold of it not recently ago because of Musk, right? So the now viral interview led to a significant uproar on social media. This is messed up. Ex-owner Elon Musk tweeted on the social media platform. Popular finance news account Wall Street Silver wrote that people need to think twice about flying United and that as an airline, the top priority of the hiring should be safe. So basically what happened was the United CEO came out and said that they will be hiring people that are mentally incapacitated to work for the airline. And immediately people like, what are you talking about? Are they going to be pilots? Are these going to be flight attendants? Like, because if you think about it, if they're doing the whole diversity hire, right? The diversity hire, if you read about it, it's like people that don't have legs, that they cannot move, that are mentally significantly.
Yo, you imagine you sitting on a plane, right?
That's the whole thing.
You're sitting on the middle seat, right, of a plane. Mm-hmm. You're getting ready to take off. Motherfucker with a pilot uniform comes in and he sits right next to you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then the flight attendant has to come by and it's like, no, Robert, Come on, that's
So,
not where you sit. Come on, and you go up here, and you're like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on here?"
Let me read this for you real quick.
And Shane Gillis is fucking
Let-
standing at the front.
Let me read this quickly so you can understand what I'm talking about. The Federal Aviation Administration is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under diversity and inclusion hiring initiatives spelled out on the agency's website. Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric disabilities, and dwarfism. The FAA's website shows the agency's guideline on diversity hiring were last updated on March 23, 2022. All eyes have been on the FAA and airline industry in recent days after plug door on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 blew out during the Alaska Airlines flight on January 5th. Right, and then it goes into the more stuff. The FAA employs tens of thousands of people for a wide range of positions. The FAA employs tens of thousands of people for a wide range of positions, from administrative roles to oversight and execution of critical safety functions. Like many large employers, the agency proactively seeks qualified candidates for as many sources as possible, all of whom must meet rigorous qualifications that, of course, will vary by position. Anyway, point here being is, and United CEO came out and said this is who I would be hiring. So here's the question: you have pilots, you have to meet a quota of diversity. How many of these pilots are not going to have extremities or going to be, as mentioned here in the paper,
severely mentally incapacitated,
severely intellectually disabled or psychiatrically disabled?
See, if my pilot's got ADD, we're good.
If the pilot got ADD,
we're chilling.
how?
We're chilling. Not a big deal. He's gonna be he'll be focused for the landing at least. Not a big deal.
But focus for the landing at least.
but if we're talking about like the motherfucker I just gave an example of, where he comes and he sits in the wrong chair, then we got some problems.
This is not like, it's not like a fucking driving a car, right? Like, let's get out, let's switch it.
No, I mean, I'm assuming that
it's a one and done deal. Once he gets up, it's gotta come down.
I'm assuming that things like pilots or engineers, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna be playing around with that.
Yeah, but the diversity and inclusion literally strikes that. So the problem is actually pilots and engineers, not the rest. Rest of the fuckers, they can be diverse and inclusive and all that. The engineers and pilots are predominantly men. They're predominantly men, and what they're saying, we're going to do diversity and inclusion, which includes bringing in women, also bringing in people that are
specifically
incapacitated.
for those positions.
But those are the specific positions that are heavily concentrated in male employees, and that's where diversity and inclusion would hit the hardest. Not the stewardesses, not the people that selling the tickets, or people that are loading the bags. You know what I mean?
When it comes to these people, they're not gonna fucking play with lives. I mean, we're joking.
I understand that, but the whole thing is, United coming out and saying, well, we're going to do that. And we all know majority of pilots are men. So where are we putting these diversity inclusive people?
I get what you're saying. Mickey, you imagine when they come to grab the guy from the chair, he's just like, sorry, it nicked me.
Yeah.
Would you guys be able to eat your own family to
No.
survive?
No, I already know what you're going to talk about. Like the football team that fucking ate half of them people to survive.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
So this was a flight that crash lands in the Andes.
Yep. It was many years back.
Yeah, it was supposed to go from Uruguay to Peru.
Something like that.
And it landed.
These are soccer players.
It landed somewhere in the Andes, and they had to survive for 70 days.
And they ate half of the people.
Some crazy shit happened. The guy told the story. I think it was Lad Bible who posted the story, and they interviewed the guy. He had to basically assume the position of barricader to barricade the airplane to make it hot enough. They had two or three training doctors that assumed the role of doctors and then they had an engineer. These guys went through hell.
So, is it like did they kill them or did
Yeah.
they when they
So-
died they would eat them?
So during the
Which
plane
way- how did it
crash,
go?
they died.
And
And
they ate
one of the
those people.
guy's mother and sister was in the plane and told the story survivor, "Hey, I'm gonna go and look for supplies. If you need to, you can eat my mom and my sister."
I mean,
Were they dead?
they're already
He
dead.
wasn't gonna eat them, but he gave him permission to eat them.
But
Right.
what were they dead? The mom and the sister.
Yes,
Okay.
they died in the plane crash.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. See,
But also the guy who allowed the guy to eat his family, the first person that he wanted to eat was the pilot, because the guy had said that he felt like he had something against the pilot, which the pilot also died. So
shit.
because he killed his mom and his sister, that's it. But yeah, they got rescued. That same guy that I'm talking about, he walked out and then he sent a signal back to them to get them escorted out.
Fuck. And how cold was this when they were there?
It was like negative 30 degrees, I think it was.
Holy shit. So these are actual pictures?
Yeah. This one right here is a real picture. This one right here. And
Motherfuckers
then
posing, bro.
They're
This one-
smiling and
this
shit.
one right
Eating
here was-
people smiling.
This one right here was when the guy that told the story, he got rescued. And this is his father. He got rescued on the day of his father's birthday.
Shit.
Yeah, it's an intense story, and I highly recommend you guys.
There's a
check
movie
out.
about it, no?
I don't know if there's a movie, but I'd be willing to watch it. It's
think there's a
definitely
documentary about it.
interesting what they had to do to survive.
What's that show that went on for forever? That was about the plane that crashed and they were like surviving and shit. Fuck. Lost.
Lost.
That was a famous ass show.
What do you guys think about the Bermuda Triangle?
I think it's bullshit.
bullshit.
Think it's bullshit?
Yeah.
Why do people avoid it?
I don't know why
I
they
even
avoid it.
remember.
I think it's just a.
I even remember.
I think it's just
I had
a
a
wide
teacher
fail.
in high school, or a substitute teacher, and he wanted to explore the world or something, and he was gonna sail, but he specifically said, "Yeah, but I'm avoiding the Bermuda Triangle."
Well, he was an idiot because people go through Bermuda Triangle all the time. Like if you look
I don't
up,
know, man. I wouldn't. I honestly,
You
that's
look up-
that's low key one of the biggest fears that I have about the ocean. Is
Look up the story,
The
the,
Bermuda
the
Triangle.
Yeah.
truth behind the Bermuda
yeah,
Triangle.
people
They
go
haven't
through
found
Bermuda
the truth.
Triangle all the time.
The legend of the Bermuda Triangle is a manufactured mystery perpetuated by writers who either purposely or unknowingly made use of misconceptions, faulty reasoning, and sensationalism.
Well, so ergo, big ball of bullshit.
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle is nonsense. You know, there's no such thing as like fucking.
I remember that being a big topic in a lot of movies and shows when I would grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Very-
there's just a story they would
Very
use.
interesting myth, though.
Yeah, it kind of is, right? Like where like this area that if you go through, you're gonna get fucked up, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
what is it? What,
Whether it's
yeah.
waves or lightning or whatever might get you.
Well, we're at that 130 mark.
Yeah.
Go to Iowa. 5 takeaways from the Iowa. And what are these 5 takeaways that we have? Read them a little bit. And this is from,
Number
this is from
one.
NPR, right? Like we was owned by United States government. So
Republicans have been saying they're still with Trump. Believe them. Do you want me to read a little bit into this, or do you
You
want me to just
can,
go to the
if
next
you
one?
want.
It's up to you. You can go to the next one.
you can go to this one.
Number 2, Trump's criminal indictments have only helped him, at least with the GOP base. Well, that's mainly because of
Read
just
about this a little bit.
free advertisement.
Yeah,
The
read about
GOP
this. I
base
wanna
is pretty
understand
much
how.
all in on Trump's election lies and conspiracies. According to media entrance polls of Iowa GOP caucus goers sponsored by CNN, NBC News, and CBS News and others, just 3 in 10 said they believed Joe Biden was legitimately elected. Two-thirds said even if Trump was convicted, he would still be fit to be president.
Wow. Okay.
That mirrors what the NPR PBS NewsHour Marists poll found earlier this year. The signs have been clear. Trump's campaign noticed it. It raised tons of money from these indictments, and Trump's lead has only expanded in the GOP nominating process this
So
year.
this is what's going to happen. If Trump gets elected, there are 4 cases that are against him that are really, really bad. He literally, like these 4 cases that they have, they're federal cases, and he's for it, like do jail time. If he gets elected, he's just going to pardon himself for all of those cases, and that's going to be the end of that.
Can he do that?
Yeah. As a president, you can pardon yourself. First thing he was going to do, get in office, first thing he's going to do is pardon. Like, first thing he's going to do on the first day, some random shit. On the second day, he's going to pardon
Bro's
himself.
about to fucking wipe his social security.
Yeah. DeSantis will interpret
Number
his...
3.
So they get in office and go, I want a new one.
I lost mine. DeSantis will interpret.
No, he's going to tell him it got lost.
DeSantis will interpret his second place finish as a reason to keep going, but a path to the nomination for him looks closed off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
4th, the stakes for Haley in New Hampshire just went up. Haley finished within a couple of thousand votes of DeSantis.
I don't agree with this one. I don't agree that New Hampshire... Read it a little bit.
And she denied Trump a clean sweep of all of Iowa's 99 counties. She won 1 county, Johnson County, in the eastern part of the state by 1 vote. But the stakes now for Haley in New Hampshire in a week have just gone up. Tonight, I will be back in the great state of New Hampshire, Haley said during her speech Monday night. She said the questions before Americans is very clear. Do you want more of the same, or do you want a new generation of conservative leadership? She argued that America deserves better because majorities dislike both President Biden and Trump and don't like that they're both 80 or approaching it. It's not a bad argument. Now she needs to show that in a more moderate state where independents can vote, she can give Trump a real run for his money. But there are some red flags for Haley going forward.
Yep.
Her win in Johnson County is indicative of the problem she faces. The county, home to the University of Iowa, has the highest percentage of college degrees in the state. It looks at the groups Haley won in the state overall. Moderates, those who said if Trump was convicted, he would not be fit to serve as president. Those with foreign policy as their top issue. Those who said they didn't consider themselves part of the MAGA movement. Those who thought Biden legitimately won in 2020. And those who said the candidate quality that mattered most to them was having the right temperament. And those with advanced degrees.
And the problem is those are hardly the majority of Republican Party risk and file voters, which they're true. So basically what they're saying, people that are going for Nikki Haley are like normal, because the other people that are going for Trump are definitely like a little bit cuckoo.
They're on one extreme or the other.
Yeah. So what they're saying, the majority of people are a little bit cuckoo and they're not going to go for Haley.
Caucuses just don't feature high participation. Turnout was low in these caucuses compared to the record-setting 2016 turnout. Only about 110,000 Republicans caucused with 99% of results in as of 1:30 a.m. Eastern. That represents less than 15% of the total of registered Republicans in the state. Perhaps not surprising in the record cold. But Trump got almost 900,000 votes in Iowa in 2020. Put another way, almost $124 million was spent on campaign ads in Iowa by the Republican candidates, more than any other state by far. That translates to $1,124 per person who showed up to vote. It's pretty amazing for so few voters to play such a prominent role in the presidential nominating process.
So, I don't think Nikki Haley is going to win New Hampshire. I really don't think so. I think Trump is still going to fucking clean up New Hampshire. And if Trump cleans up New Hampshire, it's time for Nikki Haley to
When I look at elections,
hang up
I don't look at
hang up
who's
the
going to
flag.
eliminate who. I look at who's going to win. There can only be one winner. And
And I
it's
think
up to one versus one.
I think it's a stretch to say that that the bell curve is like inverted, right? No, that's bullshit. Most people fall in the middle.
Yeah.
And even people that are
They do.
just in the middle or not in like close to the middle, just a little bit this way, they still go to Trump. They
Yeah.
don't have to be in that extreme.
I think the determining factor is going to be, I hate to say this, but it's going to be females between age of 20 to 40 that are unmarried and single. Those are going to be the voting block that's going to determine who wins this election. And if Trump wants to win this election, he better start winning those hearts and minds of that specific block, right? Now, if Biden wants to win this election, he needs to start winning that as well. Projected 2025, Trump's plan to take over. He said yesterday he'll his presidency for 4 more years and beyond. He's trying to become an autocrat.
That's Trump talking some Trump shit. That's Trump
Yeah,
being Trump right
Trump
there talking
also-
some shit.
Yeah, he also said that he's gonna be a dictator, but on the first day of being elected, which they blew up all over the media by saying, "Oh, he's gonna be a dictator." Well, I don't know if that's the thing in being an autocrat. He can't have another fucking election. He's already 71. He's gonna be 75. Who's gonna elect his ass again? He's gonna be Biden status. I don't care how good he does for the country.
It's gonna be expired.
Yeah, he's gonna be definitely fucking expired. There's a time frame on that. Not everybody can be Putka. Putin.
Both of those guys are expired.
They're both expired. Yeah. Problem is, we don't have a choice.
All right, so that's it for today, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, before we leave off, I got a little something. Guys, I heard this little piece of information, and I thought it was a nice little thing.
What is it? Share. Do share.
If you keep having to be the bigger person with certain people, maybe you should stop hanging around such little people. In the sense where, sometimes situations happen.
Yeah.
And, arguments, whatever, and you kind of find yourself being the bigger person all the time. Where letting it go, forgetting this, making the compromise, whatever it may be. Maybe you should stop hanging around such little people.
What's making you so upset, my friend?
No, I just heard that advice, and I was like, I know some people. I know, no, not for me. I like my circle.
Guys, like and subscribe, please.
Yeah, like and subscribe, and stop with the little people.
Stop with the little people. No, don't stop with the
No,
little people.
not those little people. We love those little people. Those little people are cool. They're funny.
Speak for yourself. I kind of
not funny in that way. They're usually just outgoing.
Dig your grave.
Yeah, I know, right? So, guys, have a good night. Like and subscribe. Check out Vitality. See you on